The Tampa Bay Buccaneers continue to add reinforcements along their defensive line. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. So this was actually per Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, but the Bucs are signing defensive tackle, defensive end in the 3-4 defense, CJ Brewer, to their 53-man roster. Now, we don't have a corresponding move yet as to who the Buccaneers may be releasing from the 53-man roster, but the important thing to note here is that CJ Brewer is on the Bucs active 53. Now, real quick follow-up from a previous video I made was that the Buccaneers released Jack Henderson from the practice squad to make room for Desmond Watson. We talked about that in an earlier video today as well. But hey, shout out to CJ Brewer, right? I know a lot of people were very intrigued about Brewer last year. He made a couple of plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in limited time. Obviously, they liked him enough to bring him back into the organization for another year of training camp and preseason and things along those lines. And Brewer is going to continue to get his shot here at the NFL level to possibly make some type of an impact. In fact, I just pulled up his PFF numbers. I'm curious to take a look at what he did for the Buccaneers last year. So we take a look over at the PFFs, and to be honest, a bit of a mixed bag, right? Bit of a mixed bag. Now, you guys will see he actually did play for Buffalo in 2022, did not have a lot of chances to do anything there. Then in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers time last year in 2024, he did play more snaps, 159 to the 29 in Buffalo, and, left a lot to be desired, to be 100% honest with you guys. But of course, it is a small sample size. There was some moments where he did have some good plays, such as his time against the Detroit Lions last year, where he went out there and made some plays. Also against the Atlanta Falcons as well, in his very limited 13 snaps, where he actually had a great pass rushing grade of 85.0. So, look, there are certain things that you can see here in CJ Brewer's game where it's like, okay, let's see what this young man can do. I do want to take a look back at his time in Coastal Carolina as well, and you see the great numbers here from Brewer during his time in college. I mean, just overall great defensive grades and things along those lines. Before we dive deeper into it, though, I do want to say shout out to Sleeper for being the proud sponsor of this channel. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Again, that is whenever you use the code MrBucs. Guys, download the #1 football app today and enjoy sports the way it was meant to be. That is together. Now, back to what I was talking about regarding CJ Brewer. So you guys see the overall just playing time that he had, over 2,600 snaps there in Coastal Carolina, and great defensive grades, 77.9, 74.3, 77.0. Run defense, great grades, 70 plus grades in his last 3 years. Pass rush, great grades the last 2 years, 70 plus overall grades there. Even tackling came up pretty solid in there as well. And during his time at Coastal Carolina, he played a lot of different roles along the defensive line and did a lot of different types of things while playing for the Chanticleers? There's no way that's how you say it. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers? No clue. But shout out Coastal Carolina, I suppose. But going into the NFL level here, what is Brewer going to provide? Well, he's going to provide some immediate depth. Right now, Logan Hall, don't know if a lot of you know this, but he is dealing with an injury. He will probably be on that injury report that we'll be talking about a little bit later on here in the week. So Brewer is brought in as reinforcements for that Logan Hall injury. You already have Kalijah Cansey out for the year with a torn pec. Greg Gaines has been the starter on the defensive line. You brought in Elijah Simmons. He is still kind of figuring out his way, coming in from the Arizona Cardinals practice squad, I should say. Then you brought in Desmond Watson onto the practice squad. You've got Jason Jones there, Nash Hutmacher, Adam Gotsis is on the practice squad as well. So you have a lot of depth options along that defensive line. Of course, Elijah Roberts is another guy who could get more playing time. So, look, man, I know there's a lot of people who have been intrigued about CJ Brewer in preseason from this past year and even last year, as well as some regular season opportunities Brewer got last year as well. So I'm rooting for the guy. You know, coming out of a small school like Coastal Carolina, possibly seeing what he could do here with maybe some more opportunities in that defensive line rotation with some of the injuries that they're dealing with. We're going to have to wait and see. But let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about CJ Brewer down in the comments section below. Are you intrigued to see what he can do? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.